Hey guys, this is IFBB Bikini Pro Christina Friscia here. If you hear my dog snoring in the background, I apologize. But I am here to give you my 2023 Bikini Olympia predictions. The Bikini Olympia is this weekend. And I have some people on this list that maybe is a surprise to you. Maybe some people you are expecting. Maybe the order that I am predicting is a little different from yours. So I would love to know what your predictions are for the Olympia down below in the comments. If you saw me on Instagram talk about this the other day, I am doing a top 15. So we know that after 15, everyone is 16, and I believe there is 58 girls on the list. So most people are going to be 16th this year. So picking a top 15 was very challenging. I sat at my desk for a good 30 to 40 minutes, probably just highlighting names and going back and forth and back and forth. And then I was actually talking to my good friend, Carol Colazzo. So hi, Carol. She is a bikini pro as well. And she was talking to me about her predictions. So talking to her changed my mind about one or two people. So this is the list that I have going at this point. I'm actually kind of nervous to even announce it. I don't want anyone to get upset by who I'm predicting. The order obviously could be wrong. It likely is going to be wrong, but I am going off pretty much thinking about there being an 8-person call out for a first call out, and then maybe another 6 to 8 people for the second call out, making that a top 15 to 16. So we are rounding out number 15 with Ellie Fernandez. I really love Ellie's physique. I think that she is a shorter competitor. She is compact, but she is stacked with muscle. I believe she won the DC Pro this year, so I'm excited to see her on stage. I'm excited to see which suit color she is going to wear as well. She is always a favorite of mine because she really just has such beautiful shape. The shape of her glutes, her legs, even her calves is phenomenal. So this is 15. 14, we have Ashlyn Little. Ashlyn is also another compact competitor, and this is my mindset just thinking about who is going to compare well to each other, and I think Ellie and Ashlyn will compare fairly well together. They have a similar physique in terms of height and, build and just being, they're both very dense with muscle, so I'm excited to see Ashlyn on stage as well. 13, we have Lucia. Lucia is such a sweetheart. I actually got to know her a little bit this year. She is going to be wearing stage-light jewelry this year at the Olympia, so thank you, Lucia. I'm very honored to have you wearing our pieces. With that said, I am interested to see what suit color Lucia is going to wear, how she is going to style her glam, and how her posing is going to fare against some of the other more, I want to say, refined posers. Something that Lucia stands out with is she is very confident. When you see her posing, especially, if you look back at the Olympia from last year, she was business. She was walking very aggressively. There were times where I was thinking, wow, if I was on stage next to her, I think I'd be a little nervous because she goes hard. But I'm hoping that her working with James has probably helped refine her posing a bit, refine her physique, fine tune it, because she has all of the tools. She just really needs to work on those little details. And I think that if she is able to do that, she's going to do very well this year. Now, this next competitor is someone that turned pro this year, and I believe she has won 3 pro shows already. Coming out of her pro debut, she won her pro show. She is a European competitor. Her name is Valerya Fedorenko, and I have her at 12th. Valerya, I think, is going to come into this Olympia and surprise a lot of people. This is her first Olympia, but with that said, she has a phenomenal physique, but she is a little bit of a taller competitor. So if you look at her structure, she has very developed glutes. She has beautiful just shape. She has beauty. But I think that if anything works against her, it's going to be just her choice of glam, her choice of suit, her choice of jewelry, because it is different than what you would see in the American competitors, the Canadian competitors. We wear more of those rhinestones with the white metal, and she has gold jewelry, gold connectors. So if she could bring a package that, muscle wise looks similar to this, conditioning wise, it's great. But if she can just fine tune those little details with her glam, I think that she'll be able to compare very well to the following competitors. So next, I have Phoebe Hagen coming in at 11th. Phoebe just won the Texas Pro Show this past weekend. She looked absolutely phenomenal. These photos, by the way, I just really went on Google quick and I copied and pasted the best ones, the best quality ones that I could find at the top. I didn't go into NPC News looking at the most recent shows or anything like that. So the photos are a little inconsistent, but this was a show that Phoebe did this past year. She has made incredible gains, incredible strides into refining her physique and fine-tuning everything that she needed to do to come back even better after winning the Arnold UK last year. So just seeing her this past weekend, I think that she looks amazing. Her posing is always beautiful. She knows how to present her body. She knows how to move. The one thing I would say is I did not love her suit top at this past weekend's show. I think that because she's a taller competitor, that very long suit top just did not look the best to balance out her upper body right. It was a little distracting at the top, but that's maybe just me. But bikini is subjective, so anything that draws your attention usually is a bad thing. In bikini, you want to be just a beautiful overall presentable, classy look. There shouldn't really be one thing that stands out amongst the rest where you're like, oh my god, look at that. Even if it's look at her earrings, look at her glutes, look at her hair, whatever it is. If you're going to stand out, make sure it's a good way, make sure it's not a distracting way or even a questionable way. So that was the only thing that I really had to say about her new package to the stage in Olympia prep. I think that a suit top could have been a little bit of a different cut, but that's just me. So moving on to number 10. This is the top 10 we're rounding out. So I have Jourdanne Lee coming in at the top 10. She has had a phenomenal year. Jourdanne has the most beautiful face, the most beautiful smile. She knows how to work those cameras because I don't think I've ever seen a bad photo of this girl. So that alone that does so much for you as a bikini competitor because you really have to think of bikini. It's like a Victoria's Secret show with muscle. So she's such a stunning girl and she has the goods to back it up. She has a beautiful shape, little tiny waist, nice round glutes and legs and shoulders. So that's what you want to see in bikini, and a smile like that, you really can't go wrong. So this is who I have for my 10th place. We have Jourdanne Lee. Moving on to number 9, this is a first-time bikini Olympian. This is Amy Velasquez. She has had a phenomenal year as well. I believe she won 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 pro shows. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know that she has come a long way since she won her pro card, I believe, at USA's. So look at her body, man. Look at her. There is just so much muscle going on. That lower body is looking great. I would say that the one thing that I think may keep her out of like maybe a top 5 is because she has so muscle, you are kind of drawn to those quads. You're a little bit drawn to her legs more than you might want to see in bikini. Although she has beautiful muscle, she does present it in a way where it's not overboard. It's not like, wow, I think she's teetering on the line of wellness. I don't think she's there yet. She is a great fit for bikini. I think that I would choose a different suit color. For me, it's a little dark, and I've always thought that about her suit color, so maybe she'll change it up this year for the Olympia. I would like to see that. And I would like to see a little bit more sometimes with the hair. She usually has worn it straight, I believe, and I just think that it needs a little more movement, a little more volume, and I think that that would kind of maybe even soften the intensity of the muscle on her and maybe just soften that overall look. But I do have her coming in at 9th place because I think stacked up next to Phoebe, she would likely win. So moving on to number 8, we have Daraja Hill. She just got married, so I'm probably going to butcher her last name, but it's Weidemoyer. I hope I said that right, Daraja, but she looked amazing this past weekend. She actually placed second next to Phoebe at the Texas show, but I do think that in an overall Olympia lineup, Daraja may come out on top. It really depends on how she's going to show up this weekend, but I think that she is another one that is just absolutely stunning. I don't think I've ever seen a bad photo of this girl. She always knows how to pose. She puts on a presentation. You know, she is the upper echelon of posing, and she knows what it means to present her physique. So if she can nail her conditioning where she is at the point where they're looking for her Daraja's conditioning to be, because we also have to remember with bikini that it gets easy to get ourselves wrapped up, especially as athletes, in the idea that we need to look like her. I need to look like Jen Dory's conditioning. I need to have Laura Lee's shoulders. I need to have XYZ. No, you don't. You need to have maximized your frame and your structure and be perfectly balanced and conditioned for what you're able to achieve. So someone else's conditioned may be different than yours than your perfect conditioned. You know what I mean? So for Daraja, I think that she is right there with where she would not want to get more conditioned, because then she may not look her best. Some people don't look better the leaner they get. Some people look a lot better, a little softer, because they have the muscle to hold that. So I think Daraja is one of those competitors that in a lineup like this on the Olympia, based off what I believe they're looking for in terms of a bikini Olympian, a representative of this sport, Daraja checks all those boxes, and she doesn't make it look like, oh my God, I have to diet so much. I have to do hours of cardio. I have to get super lean to be able to do this. She is a nice, healthy, beautiful, muscled representative of the bikini division. So moving on to number 7, I have Ivana Eskandar. Ivana also has had a phenomenal year. She is a European competitor as well. Stunning girl. She is tiny, and I think that compared to Daraja, she is going to stack up well as again. Because like I said, I am thinking about how these girls may be into call outs, and then from there, how would you place them within those call outs? So I think that compared to Daraja, Ivana likely would place a little bit higher, but it depends on how she shows up and also what she does coming into that show. Meaning, she has been known to almost knock herself off her feet by doing a spin on her way into her front pose, walking onto the stage. I don't want to see her do that at the Olympia unless she is confidently going to nail that. Very few girls have that adrenaline and momentum and don't trip when they try and do a spin. So you have to just, if she can nail that, if she can hit her poses to be comparable to the other girls, I think that she is going to do really, really well this year. I think that this is not her first Olympia, but I do think it is going to be her best Olympia yet. So I'm excited to see Ivana. I love her in the red, and I love her with the red lipstick. You guys know that that's my favorite look for myself as well. So I hope that she does that for the Olympia, because that's where I think that she looks her most beautiful. She has done other colored suits. I think that the red is her color. So next, you guys may want to talk about this one. You may hate me, you may not, you may agree. But I have Janet coming in at 6th place this year at the Olympia. We have not seen Janet on the stage, I think, since like Pittsburgh. I don't know if she did New York, but it's been a while. And I think that Janet may have wanted to do a show or two before the Olympia, but I'm sure she was thinking, like, I just want to come back to the Olympia and surprise everyone and just, like, have that be, like, my wow moment, coming back and looking great. And I guarantee she will look great. That's undeniable for this girl. She's always going to look phenomenal. But I don't think that she's going to have the amount of muscle and the whole look and vibe that they're going for with what they want to see on stage anymore. Janet is one of the OG competitors. She is a supermodel, really. Like, she knows how to pose, But I do think that the 45-second posing limitations this year at the Olympia may also not work in her favor. She is one of them that has been known to pose rather long and extensively because she can. And she looks beautiful in every pose. But with that said, you don't need to be up there posing for 1 minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes. We get the idea. We get your physique. We know what you look like. So I think that reeling that into 45 seconds may lose a little bit of her shine, because that's where Janet really wins the audience and wins the judges, is her beauty and her posing and her just, oh my God, she's so stunning. So limited to 45 seconds. Can she deliver? We will see. I don't think it's a matter of her not looking great. I just think it's a matter of her not having the muscle density and just overall stacking up where she needs to. I think she should have retired truly after winning her Olympia. She has done promotions and she has shined in that. And so many girls look up to her just as an athlete that, you know, if you're not going to come to the Olympia and be able to win again and be confident that you're right there because you know where you stand right now, I don't think it's worth it to come in and place worse. But that's just me. So maybe she just really wants to relive the experience of being at an Olympia, and that's fine. She's qualified for life, so she has every right to be there. But I have her at 6th place. Next, I have Issa coming in at 5th. I love Issa's physique. In fact, I think I've said this before. When I got back into competing again, Issa's physique was the one that I looked at to aspire to look like. I'm sure many did, but this was before she had won the Olympia. So I was just like fangirling over her. I think in like 2018, the first time I saw her at the Olympia, I think that's the year it was. And she had like the red suit on with a little bit of the blonde hair. I think that that was her best look. I think she repeated that, I want to say, at the Arnold this past year, or I've seen her in the red suit again fairly recently, and I was like, yes, that's it. Like, she just looks so beautiful in that red. She stands out. She shines. These baby blue pink combos, I don't hate. I don't love. I like the red better. I think when you find a color that you're winning in, or a color that really like looks phenomenal, you have to stick with it. A lot of girls like to experiment, and I understand, but maybe experiment in the photo shoots, or experiment like in your free time. When you're on stage, think of your suit as your uniform. You know, you don't want to constantly have to think about changing up your uniform. Once you know what you're going to work with and what you have to wear, just wear that. And then maybe change out small details within that standard. But, you know, she has had different suit fits, different suit cuts, different suit colors, different suit combos. I think she's with Angel Competition Bikinis now. So they have beautiful suit cuts. I will say that. So yeah, I do have her at 5th place. I think it's a matter of if she's going to be able to tone down the muscularity that she has displayed that has worked against her. I'm sure that her waist is going to be tight and cinched, girl, but that is never the issue with her. Her is really just an issue of she is almost too freaky for bikini because of her proportions being so wild that it becomes borderline unattainable and borderline like not what they're actually looking for in bikini. Like I said before, they don't want any one thing to stand out when they look at you. You want to be the perfect balance of pretty muscle from top to bottom. So I think that if she could nail it, she could go up in this. She can also go down. You know, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like I said, making this list was difficult, very difficult. But coming in at 4th, I have Ashley Kaltwasser. I don't think we have seen Ashley on stage since she won the Arnold UK. I believe that was her last time on stage. I could be wrong, but she always looks great. There is just little minute things from show to show that may look a little bit different on her, but overall, she is one of the OG champions of this division. You know, she is already 3-time Miss Bikini Olympia, qualified for life, but I like the fact that she still competes consistently. She doesn't just only show up each year for the Olympia. So I think that that says a lot about her as an athlete, her as an ambassador for the sport. I would like to see her win an Olympia again because I think that she is a wonderful representative for the bikini division. She has been able to make massive strides in improving year over year to stay in line with what they're looking for within the division. So I really do applaud her for that. And I am excited to see what she looks like, what suit color she wears as well. There's a lot of girls that I said have been switching up their suits. So Ashley's been wearing green lately. I wonder if she's going to return to the OG green Olympia look. I love that look. Like, you almost get nostalgic when you see Ashley with the tan and the emerald green suit. At least I do, because when I first started competing in 2015, Ashley was Miss Bikini Olympia, and that was who I aspired to be like. I looked up to Ashley. I still do till this day. She is someone that I am excited to be able to compete with once the time comes, because I have just looked up to her for so many years. She has done so much to motivate me and make me believe that I can be in this sport, and now I'm a pro just like her. So Ashley, I hope you have an amazing Olympia, and I have her coming in at 4th place this year. Now, 3rd place, I have Laura Lee Chapados. Laura Lee, we can't deny that she looks insane. She absolutely looks phenomenal. I think all of us would love to have her body, to have her glutes, to have her shoulders, to have her little bitty waist, to have her face and smile and hair. But that's exactly why I think that she's going to place 3rd, because there are too many things when you look at her, you're like, oh my God, look at that, look at that, look at that. As beautiful, as amazing, as earned and hardworking as she is, I think that because she has not learned how to just keep it where she needs it to be, she just keeps getting bigger, getting harder, getting leaner. Eventually, once you're at a point in bikini where you have the foundation of muscle, you have the structure that the judges are asking for, your only job is to be working on those fine details and maintaining what you have built, not continually getting bigger or getting leaner, because sometimes that's going to go too far and that's going to work against you. And she has had that happen before, when she built insane glutes, like we all know, last year, and then she was told, why would you do that? That's too much. It's not what we're looking for in bikini. So imagine having spent weeks and months or whatever to build and eat and grow, and then you're told you didn't need to do all that. You're actually too big now. You need to tone it down. So because I feel like she may not have the ability to just take that feedback and work with that, she strives to be better. And that's almost the blessing and the curse, is like, you're such a hard worker that you're outworking what the judges want from you. So I think that she is going to be a little bit too lean, a little bit too hard, a little bit too jacked for bikini. And I think that because of that, she's going to come in at 3rd. And it's going to be heartbreaking, because I think a lot of people have her coming in winning this year based off her winning the Arnold. But I do think that comparing to the next girl and comparing to the other next girl, she would likely place 3rd. So the next person I have is Maureen Blanquisco. Maureen is coming up in the ranks in the IFBB bikini division this past year or two. She has made insane improvements. All eyes have been on her lately. She is another one that I don't think I have ever seen this girl look bad. She is so gorgeous. Next level gorgeous. When I do my shows, her hair is what I aspire to have mine look like, to be honest. She was actually the photo I showed my hairdresser before my pro debut. I was like, if I could do that little flip thing in the front, I'll be so happy. She's like, your hair is never gonna do that. But that's besides the fact. So I have Maureen coming in at 2nd. I love her physique. I think that she is a wonderful, just physique look for what they want in bikini. She is developed. She has beautiful shape, the beauty aspect. She knows how to pose and present herself. She has the size and the density that they want in bikini, but she's not overly conditioned. You don't look at her and you're like, oh my God, she's so lean. I don't want to look like that. I could never get that lean. There's not going to be a person in the world that messages her and says, well, you look like a man. You're too jacked. You look too fucking shredded. She's only gorgeous. She's only beautiful. She's only, oh my God, she looks amazing when you look at her. And that's what you want in bikini. You know, when you're bordering on the line of your face looking too sunken in, you have too much almost graininess in your body and your abs, too many veins. That's not what they want in bikini. That's not beautiful. No one is looking at that like, wow, that's such a beautiful, gorgeous thing on a female. You have to remember that this is female bikini bodybuilding. We expect a female to be feminine. So I'm sorry, some people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. In this division, in this sport, you cannot show up looking too manly, too masculine, too hard, too grainy. It's going to work against you. Even though you have to work incredibly hard to look like that, the judges don't care how hard you have to work. They care what you look like. So if you're showing up that day at that moment compared to other girls looking too hard, that's going to work against you. So coming in first, I think most of us have this happening this year, but I am predicting that Jennifer Dory is going to be two-time Miss Bikini Olympia this year. Jen has, I don't know what she has done this past year, but these photos that she has posted lately, she is looking absolutely insane. She is more conditioned than last year. She has not stepped on stage, I believe, since the Olympia, so it'll be nice to see what she looks like. The total package, we haven't really gotten a full posing rundown. She's kind of teased us a few times, but I think that Jen is going to take it again this year. I think that after this year, she should probably hang it up. I do think that there's kind of like a changing of the guards happening within the top 5, and they're kind of shaking things up a little bit in the top 10, even the top 15. There's so many girls. There's so many amazing people to choose from. But I do think that Jen is going to just beat out most of these girls in the first call out that I have predicted. Again, there's so many girls. It could go anyway. I saw some of the names on the list and I was thinking, oh, maybe, but I could switch her with her and I could switch her with her. And I just went off based on what I predict based on what has happened this year in their placing and who has beaten who and who I expect at a show like the Olympia to beat someone else based on just her versus her versus her. I can't play favorites. I don't know most of these girls individually, so all I know is what I see on social media. I waited to make this video based on my this past weekend and the pro shows that happened, and although Phoebe won, I do have Daraja beating her by a little bit at the Olympia. So let me know what you guys think about my picks in the comments. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, where your head's at, what you think is going to happen this year. And I also want to know, who are you most excited to see at the Olympia this year? I am really excited to see what happens with Laura Lee, what happens with Jen Dory, what happens with Ashley, what happens with Issa, what happens with Maureen. That's really who I think is going to be in the top 5, and it's going to be a damn show watching these girls go at it. But I'm excited to really see everyone. I know everyone has worked so hard to get there. You guys all deserve a gold medal just to freaking be at the Olympia, and you should be so proud. And as a pro, I can only hope that in 2023 I am able to qualify myself and get to the Olympia stage one day myself. So that's the goal for next year. The long-term goal, the real goal is just getting a first call out at a pro show, but we will get there. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little longer than I expected, but I'm happy I got it done. And I will talk to you guys this weekend during the Olympia. Have a good one.